back in the shop. Just turned loose with the first gen. Very happy where that thing went, and the results on the excitement were pretty good. We got rain outside. We finished a big project down the hill, so we decided we're gonna start working on a new project in the shop. This isn't so much of a new one, but this is one I've had for a minute, and it's time to get it finished. My first ever factory 6-speed manual truck, an 02, high output, rear disc brake, dually four-wheel drive, you know, everything you want to check on the boxes except for maybe a sport package, this truck's got it. Found it in the field, been sitting since 2016 for various reasons, and we're going to go through that checklist right now. But I've honestly never been a fan of 24 valves, because if you lose your lift pump, you lose your injection pump, and then you got a truck that's dead in the water. When you get a 12 valve, it's just everything in the engine bay does what it needs to, and it never really fails. It's very rare that you lose a lift pump, and it's very rare you lose an injection pump on a 12 valve. But I'll tell you the truth, I am kicking myself right now for avoiding these trucks, because for one, they have a lot more potential without doing a lot of stuff to it. First and foremost, if you're worried about losing your lift pump, just put a FASS on there like we're going to do right off the boat. We're going to put a FASS 100 on it, good fuel, filtered, and it's continuous, uninterrupted, reliable fill source. So thanks to FASS for this one. I really appreciate them stepping in. I've been running their product forever. I'll put a link down below. Just hit them up on their website. And if you could, in the comment section down below, quote, whatever, say V-Belt and Son. Appreciate that. So let's go over the list of stuff we need to knock out on this truck and go from there. So first and foremost, the Mac Daddy 66 crew right there. That I still have a bunch of stuff to do to it, and that's a small list. That's just some stuff so I didn't forget from last year. The red sport truck, we're actually, yeah, that's going to be next-ish on the list. 70 Charger up on the rack. That needs to be wiped out and changed because it's getting the Hemi. This was the first gen. We knocked all that stuff out. Clean windows, toolbox. I don't remember what that plate was for. I have no idea. Power to the trailer, blah, blah, blah. This is the gold truck. That was a complete revamped truck. So we're going to get rid of this and start now. There is a... That's been on there for a minute. We need some spray. Took a while to write this list. Oh yeah, that'll do the trick. Goldie, she's doing good too. Knock on wood, she keeps doing good, but so far, we're happy. Reasons why this truck was parked, they claim the blow-by was a little intense. Now, take it out of state and don't worry about that. They chrome on this thing a gross polluter. It doesn't have, the cap doesn't bubble hardly at all. It's just the blow-by tube. So you could be a used car salesman, hack, and just run that thing back into the air cleaner, which coincidentally, that's what every new truck does anyway. Figure that out. They're nice enough to put a filter in the middle of it. You got to change it at 60,000 miles. So we'll put blow-by. Next thing, power steering was crapped on this thing. I came with a brand new one. All I did was add fluid to it. I couldn't find a leak on the old setup. But I have a donor truck that was in running condition until somebody sideswiped it. So we're going to go ahead and take the power steering pump, the gearbox, and all the hoses, and we're going to swap all that. I pulled it off the truck. It's got it sitting out there because I have it. We're going budget build, and if you got good used parts, why not use them? So this is what we're going to start off with. The dash is still good on it. I charged the air conditioner. It's still blowing cold. We got a lot of little nooks and crannies and stuff to clean on this truck. Oh, back door. Back door fix. And if we happen to, since it's a dually manual, I don't have an exhaust brake on hand, but if I found one on Marketplace, that would be nice. So put an exhaust brake. That's not going to really help the resale value, honestly. That's something that the next owner could do, but if I found a good deal, I would not turn it down to put one on it. But a B&W hitch, since it's already got a hole in the bed, somebody had probably one of those flip-up balls, old school style, because it had a big square section missing. So goose ball, because that, I mean, that's always a perk when you buy a truck and it's got a goose ball in it. So we're going to start with that. Yep. Somebody did the front main. All the lights work. It's this door that's hung up though. Just gotta figure that out. All right, boys and girls. I want to thank you guys for watching my video with the green truck getting restored. The second green truck, same paint, because that led to this box right here. Got the nice phone call. I've used FASS on every vehicle for the longest time. My old man ran it on his truck, and it just seemed to be what we were going to run, put it that way. Now, when I talked to them, we wanted to cover all basics in case it didn't go on this truck and maybe one on a different truck. You get your fuel line. All of them come with the kit for running power. And this is the little bit different setup versus some of the other ones, is I got this one with the draw straw option, just in case there was a factory upfit and they put a fuel pump in the tank. You need to basically go around that or get a different fuel head. So, the big dog. Where you at, big dog? Sticker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, right there, baby. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take this over to the vise to give it the full cinch down. Okay, this one. Okay, for that one, the rest, pull them up. These on your mount, so I don't have to get hands in around this thing. Slide back and forth. Really wait till this one goes where it's at. Bring the on. Go, down. We can have the brackets here, but we got something. Now let's just go ahead and knock out this bracketry right now. Do-do-woody-do. Before I go ahead and rip the old ones out, I'm going to put the new ones in. That way, makes me feel better about cleanliness, I guess. I don't know. That way I'm not pushing this thing down next to a open hose or something like that. I'm going to get some tape, put on the end of it, so when I push it through there, it doesn't get any debris. Doctor up both ends. Comment below if you guys are a fan of the blue hose. I think it's kind of cool. Reminds me of, you know, Fast and the Furious when they open the hood on his car and schnoz. Just stuff everywhere. Okay, I'll get it up. These are pretty slick. You just push them in there, click in. You have to cut the hose to get it back off. They got a nice little sharp lip right there. You don't have to put any hose clamps on there, though it does come with a couple. I never put them on there, never had a leak. And this is the bung that goes in the side of the VP44. Nice little piece of billet aluminum. But what we need to get started on is the easiest way for one of these kind of setups without running extra wire is you get your fuel pressure gauge. It comes with a sensor. Now I went back and forth with multiple other brands, and the only time I ever had problems with one of these glow shift ones is I over pressurized 30 psi one, which is all we need for this. Yeah, good. So make sure I got the right one. And I heard it. That's plain and simple. So what we're going to do is pull the sensor out right now, because we're going to need it for the next bit. Now they do have a port on the side of this guy right here. Right here. You can put a gauge. There, you're nice enough to label it gauge. 1/8 inch MPT pipe thread. This thing will go right there. But if you run that right there, then you have to extend a long wire towards the back, which, yeah, that's not bad. I don't have any problem with that. Just more wire and more stuff to work on. Or you can get one of these. Goes midline. And it's the same barb fitting, one-time use for the hose. And this bad boy just threads straight into it, right in the side. I think that's cool. I like that a lot. Go until it hits that little yellow guy. If you can. What was that? Man, we are close. She's past the point of where I'm about to die. So now we go ahead. Don't get nothing in the end of it. We're gonna snip it. That one went way too easy. We are definitely gonna put the hose clamps on that. Aftermarket. What's wrong with this thing? There we go. Sometimes you get these hose clamps, 7mm socket needed. That's just chaos. Keep the 1/4 inch for the little dogs. And was that gonna fit? No, not a chance. And what'd I tell you? 7mm on that one, you little sucker. Should be about right. Now we're hitting the ground running. We got the line still caged, and we are ready for fuel pressure. Got the sensor installed. That one hose is fighting my angle. There we go. It's got a caged O-ring on there. Everything's lubed up. Still running 3/4. Okay, perfect. Dawned on me I need to take the power steering pump hoses off too, so I need to take all this the truck apart. So this bad girl's just more than likely gonna be somewhat staged in the dang old way. Well, something that I didn't think was gonna be eventful was eventful. Getting the old fuel system out is aftermarket, and it did have, in fact, what the hell is this? Did have a midline fuel filter for water separation, and then it also goes through the factory one up here, so it wasn't really that bad of a kit, but I'd like to know where we're at. This one nut. Oh my goodness. The old farm truck, you better be worth it. FASS almost cost as much as the truck. Okay. Gotta save this one. The mouse. What is that? Does that even go to anything? Oh, that's for the... Man, what a goof. So that's a neat trick. That's supposed to be your trigger on right here. It goes down to your factory lift pump, but they just looped it. So we gotta go inside, snag that out, because we're gonna need power out here anyway. Just snip that off, because somebody's already Jerry spliced it anyway. And we'll use this to pull our new lead through. Right here with the southpaw. Nope. 5/16 hose clamp, like it. Somebody's been in here dinking around. They got the dipstick bracket delete, missing the bolt. You guys see my southpaw working some magic in there? Hung up on some brake lines. So not only are we upgrading from 3/8 line to half, so we got better amperage. The flow is a lot better. We are apparently shedding weight on a great level. What does that go to? I think some of this stuff is the Banks kit, and I'm gonna be honest, I think the Banks kit was pretty reckless on how much wire they used previously. That's the wire we need for that. That's for that. Okay. It's raining really good out there. Yep, guarantee it. You're wondering, why am I pulling the bed off the truck? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's the easiest way to do what we need to get done. Because the kit we have from FASS requires drilling some holes in the tank in order to put the suction straw in it. Now, some people like to run a sump kind of a deal, which is the suction on the bottom of the tank, which is perfectly fine. It works good, but that always kind of worries me if you go off-road. Could get snagged on a stick or something like that. So I always prefer the suction on the top. And typically if you get a kit from FASS for a 24 valve, all you have to do is pop the fuel suction line off of the fuel tank housing, and you can just put the FASS kit and it clicks right on there. So it uses the suction that's already in the tank's fuel bowl area. I got the kit that basically hits you for 24 valves plus, not just strictly a second gen, because they'll run the same pressure for the VPs and the CP3s. That's an injection pump if you didn't know. And I got to drill some holes in the top of this tank. Thought so. That's kind of funny. They had fifth wheel rails in it, but removed them. All got holes. I'd like to put a B&W on it because it's got the hole for it. I don't think that bed was the original bed for this truck. I'm not saying it wasn't a dually, just the fact that it had been off. Might have been a flatbed. Excuse the heater, it's cold. So, back in the day, you could just fire up Amazon and get a whole exhaust kit for a couple $100. That's no longer a thing here. So, I have this piece off of a donor truck because somebody decided to axle dump it or whatever. Not even that, just we didn't have enough to make it to the back. So, I got an axle loop, hoop, horseshoe, whatever. I need to fit up to get right here. I don't even worry about putting a muffler on it. It's got a cat? I doubt it. Nope, no cat. So, need to cut that, both ends of that thing square because somebody mangled that. And it's going to be trickier than it is easier, but we'll figure it out. Missed it. So somebody welded this setup together. There's still a bell right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut the weld off and see if I can harness that bell. Well, you don't need the whole thing, but just enough so you can get a clamp on there. Or I probably won't weld it because it makes it a pain if you got to take it off for whatever reason. So we get some more clamps involved like the other truck. Well, we got the donor piece in the center. Show you got my extension piece right there. Let's see how I did on my cut. Yeah, that should work out freaking slick. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one up on the bench, weld her up. Well, I got it mocked up kind of the way I like it, but I was doing some aluminum weld last night. So I gotta switch the rig back over so I can weld some of this stuff here, because aluminum spool gun setup ain't gonna do the trick here, folks. Ain't gonna do it. What was that? I'm losing gear. So take this thing out quick. Factory hangers are still there, so chance to say they got just overlap those. I need that back one to really grab. But exhaust has done enough. I could add on to that, but we'll see. It's right there. One word's making a mess. Okay, they want you to take this out and this out. I'll put a photo up of the kit. We're not going to do that. We're just going to drill 2 holes in the tank and call it a freaking day, because they're only small holes for these 2 little doggers. They're both yep, they're both the same. So let's just get those installed. Drilled some 7/8 holes. I almost want to say we can get them both right there. Okay. Here we go. I believe we can fit them both right here. Another way to do this that makes it a lot easier than dropping the tank, because normally you drop the tank and it's empty. Draw straw going in, boom. We got to measure it and cut a little bit off. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, just get a sump." So we could take inch and 3/4 off.
Sure, I'll use 5/8.
But since this thing is already full, flat on the bottom. It's got weight holding it down so you know where it's at. So I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and get a light down there and confirm. I put a little nick in it just in case something pushes up against your tank. You got that little bit of fuel that can breathe along the side. I never run my trucks, try not to ever pass half, but definitely not pass like 1/3 or 1/4. Now, since I already ran that, we should have a decent amount. Because this is actually the nicer way, opposed to some of the other ways they have it set up. This one, we're hoping this all computes. Might have to add a relay or a fuse or something. We'll see when we hit the key. Just to make sure we got key on power back here, which I think we should be good. Suction, tank, labeled T. This one, labeled engine, goes up all the way to the front. This one loops around, and it is basically what controls the pressure on this is a relief valve right here. And anything that is not needed to go up there, reliefs right back to the tank right there. So, up here, you have a relay and a fuse. We got to add the fuse to it right here. Super simple. Some of them have that wire right here. That is key on. That is one of the styles that they have. I don't know why they changed it. And then some of them are actually key on power from the lift pump on the side of the block. Now that one's been popped off. We'll see. I'm hoping to God that we'll just have to run a wire to the back or something or whatever. It's no big deal. I don't think, but okay. We should hit the key if everything works right, being that this pump setup's for the wrong year. Nothing. All right, since this truck undoubtedly had some Mickey Mouse stuff wiring wise done before with the other fast lift pump, the deleted cross tie stuff up under the front, we're just gonna not even worry about trying to figure out why we're not getting power back there. We're just gonna put our own power back there. I'll show you. That wire that plugs in back there is this red one right here. So she's powering it up. That's what I liked. Let's see, it should start geysering here in a second. Oh, there it is. Man, that is a quiet rig. Okay. So that cord that we needed from before, we're still going to use it. We need to take that off there because that's hot. Whew. No big deal. I ain't that worried about it. As long as we got what we needed. Let's see if I can get a BMW we'll throw in there. We'll get the bed off. That red wire I was telling you guys about that I stabbed in right there and sent, it's just a signal wire. It's nothing high voltage, high amperage, none of that. And I accidentally broke my relay messing with this. So I just cut it back about yay transmission-ish area and pulled it through the firewall, and we soldered it up to that fuse that they had before. That is key on power. And then I also need key on power for my gauge that I'm going to put up there. So I just ran a jumper off of it while I had that exposed. Ooh. It's cold. Next morning, hit up my neighbor who's got some second gen stuff. And I asked him, I said, hey, you happen to have a BMW Hitch for a second gen for sale? Or that you'd want to sell? And he's like, I got one. I don't know if it's for a second gen, but it's supposed to be for a Dodge. It's all welded together. You can have it. So, all right, I'm headed over. We gotta revive a Frankenstein thing, but we'll go get it. Oh, there she is, my free BMW Hitch. And, it's not actually for a second gen. And somebody's welded it on there. It doesn't fit on the truck. It's too narrow. Don't know why. Somebody did this, but we're gonna do the same thing to make it fit this truck. I have no idea what this thing would have been for. It's wide. These things stick out about 1,000,000 feet. Got those welds inside Hitch. Weren't that strong. It took about 6 minutes. Well, since it's not the right one, it doesn't just factory bolt in, so we got to put the bed back on so we know where it goes. Mark everything, weld it, cut it, you know what I mean. Yeah, boy. That's kind of funny how that all resulted in. We got to pull the bed just to put the FASS suction and return on it. Got it sitting down there on some milk crates until we get this all taken care of. I don't think I could get this welded in and drilled in great with the bed on it, so I think I pull the bed back off. Hey, here's what we're working with. Here's a bracket that I ground off. It was originally welded over here. Factory for this bracket should have been out here on the ends. You can see where they had the preset drilled holes, but we're just going to weld it right here like they did. That's going to be plenty. We just got to drill a hole right here for that bolt, and then this one back here is where they used to tie into. So this piece, schemed this up this morning, it's in the way down here. It used to go straight down, so we're going to take this thing and weld it right here and drill a hole in this for right here. That should be plenty. This one was out because it's just easier, but this one over here, this one goes into the frame. We need to drill a hole for it because it doesn't have one. So let's get this centered. Yeah, boy. Something like that. What you got, dude? That's a big old clamp, man. I don't know if we gotta go get some that are golden color. That means they're stronger. Put a couple of big hosses like this, and then the back ones, I don't think they need to be that big on the back, but we'll find out. Step bit magic right there. We're gonna put one big dog up front. Gonna get some grade 8s because this 3-tab ain't gonna do it. And then I'm gonna put 2 1/2 inchers back here. That should fit somehow or another. We'll get it once put the bed on. I'll put these bolts in, I think. It'd be nice to have it up here like this, but anyway, we gotta go to the store. Be right back. Alright, close it up. We got all we need right here, dude. Let's go. Well, $50 worth of grade 8s. Filming, so I don't want to take the key out of my pocket for this. This is the furthest I've taken this truck since I've owned it. It's been a year. Just put new injectors in it. Good deal. When you do stuff like this and weld it on there, so I left a little bit of a gap and I just simply shimmed it. That way it's easier to get it on and off if you ever have to for whatever reason. Went with nylock washers, went with nylock nuts so that you feel a lot more confident with them. It'll be plenty tight enough, but just in case. Yeah, it's starting to twist the bracket. Line, pretty close to that line. On that line. You guys see what I do with the breaker bar? Did I drop it? Yep, I did. Welded both sides, plenty of penetration. I had to weld uphill because downhill it had too much. It was making a nice big puddle. Got a piece there, weld on both sides, so that ties into that. Both sides, here, 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 and we're good to go. Now, just for reference, they would normally just put, I don't even think it was 1/2 inch bolt. Yeah, so it would have been 4 1/2 inch bolts is all that held that on there. It makes it super easy to do it like that. Yeah, 1/2 inch. So I got 2 1/2 inch ones down there, a bunch of weld, and then I got a 3/4 up front. Let me know if you guys think that's enough. Let's go ahead and smash the bed back on it. Need to clean up the ball because it didn't want to fit in there. Just got a little bit of surface rust. And then we can start getting this truck back together. Do got to paint this side, but let's go. I love B&W stuff. That is so slick. Thing to finalize the installation of the B&W turnover, we got to put the safety chain loops in it. Now there's already pre-drilled holes in the hitch, so I'm just going to go underneath there and drill them from the bottom. That way they're already lined up. There we go. Difficult on the hand, I'll tell you that much. all the details. Oh, come on. Where's the Now, the next order of business. This is exhaust temp. You can tell because that's what it says. Turbo, and we need fuel pressure up there, so we need a whole nother pod. This is just a Banks add-on kit, and it's kind of a lot because it's got this thing that controls all of it with really short wires that go through underneath the park brake release. So I kind of want to cut those right there, extend them, because just pulling on this one, it disconnected it, so it's kind of rubbish. So I have this. Obviously, I've had it for a minute. It's nice and dusty. 3-pod for a 2nd gen. I freaking hope. It almost doesn't look like it is, huh? You know what? I bet you that's for... Is that for a 1st gen? Where's my 1st gen? Oh, I sold it. Dang it. That's not for this truck. I bought this kit off of Marketplace for the gauges because I didn't need the 3-pod. I've been holding on to this for a while, but we'll see. If not, we'll MacGyver something. If worst case scenario, we need to fix those short misrouted wires. I think we got enough gear we can make that happen, but kind of a pain. We'll get it done. Alright. Oh. Maybe it helps I hook that thing up. Stand by. Okay. Forgot a ground wire also, but we're good there. A little bit of air in lines. Come on, baby. Yeah, boy. Oh, that came up. Oh, man. I forgot I did the exhaust. Alright, the pressure. That sounds so much better. Oh, my gosh. It's loud as hell, though. Damn, that thing sounds pissed off. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. These sound badass. I've knocked on 24 valves for a long time. Is my bed? No, it's good. But man, this sounds good. Let's see if it gives us another immediate startup. It should. I just really like seeing that gauge bink, come up to where it should be. Oh yeah. Let's see if that shuts down. I wonder what the hell, where's that go? Oh, it went down. Okay, we're good. Okay, since I don't have one of those, I'm just going to cheat. I don't have a pod that fits this, and we're going to mount this right to the side of this guy. I'll show you. Look at this thing. I think there's 2 of them. Yeah. I'll rip that one off. Sirius XM. Get out of here. I mean, it's not much, but literally, we almost got $10 right there. So, I'm pretty happy about that. There was a quarter of a $20 bill. But it's just kind of funny what you find in something here. I mean, there's lunch. There's lunch money right there. You always got to appreciate lunch money. Put this in my boy's piggy bank right here. This is money throughout the years that I've found in these trucks. Yeah, this little thing is so much better. This is some aftermarket junk here, and it goes down through the floor to nothing. What the? Huh. Mysteries of used trucks. Yeah, look how nasty that is right there, though. Hit it with your dollar store awesome spray, which, I mean, yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then you just hit it with one of these. It's like pretty badass how well it does. Finally got the fire kicking some butt in here. Torpedo thing's turned off. I thought this truck, I don't know why people do this, but I have to do it over the top of it because I'm not going to paint the whole truck. They normally rhinoline this, or truck bed coating. This was actually just black spray paint on there. So I went through and scuffed it up. I hit it with the orbital until I ran out of 220, and then I hit it with got a block right here, and then got in little spots and hosed her down. So we're gonna give her a shot of this. Spruce up the truck a lot. I need to get a new one of these out of inventory because that thing is shot. And rotate the tires. I got the hubcap still on it, and just trying to think of stuff to say while I'm, you know, Baywatching this can. Always kind of looks cool with that orange line from the mast down there. I like doing that double line. Eats up double tape, but it's a lot easier. Right there I didn't go as heavy as I should have, but let's see. That looks way better. Wow. I like it a lot. That looks badass. Sick. Yeah, that spruced the old girl up a lot. Wasn't happy with that spot, so just hit the, it was literally just like 4 or 5 inches worth of, you could just see a pencil line worth. But I got this side done. I had to turn the exhaust fan on. The filter in here wasn't keeping up. It's pretty fragrant in here. Oh, on camera that just looks like a black hole. Can't even, yeah. This looks like we're looking at a shadow. I love it. I like how it spruces the truck up quite a bit. Got lucky, the paint up on the roof, it started, you know, losing the clear coat, but for the most part the truck actually held up pretty damn good. I just honestly think the fact that it was covered in dirt and dust out in that field is what saved this thing's paint, because it's not bad at all. But was that a zip tie as well? Yep. So this is my plan here. I don't believe that this truck, the engine, I don't believe that it's really hurt. It does have a little blow by for 300,000 miles. Yeah, you're gonna have a little bit. So one of the big issues with a 24 valve right from the factory, it's not so much issue, just kind of an oversight, because every truck is gonna develop some form of crankcase pressure. Even brand new ones, 6.7s, they have a crankcase filter now. Yeah, so that filter needs to be swapped out every once in a while. What that does is separate the idea of oil coming out. 12 valves had like a wire mesh. This thing has wire mesh, and then it goes to a catch can that happens to be right by the engine fan. Now the engine fan, once it starts getting a little bit of too much oil in that catch can, because it's going to happen. It just, over time, just a little bit, it fills up, and then it starts flinging it on your radiator, and then it starts overheating your engine. So what I've done here, and a lot of guys will do, is they take and get an extended line for their crankcase filter or vent right here. There is wire mesh in there, and they'll just, this normally just will go to atmosphere eventually. That's what people normally do. So what I did is I gave it the little loop over to here, and same principle as a 6.7. It goes back in the intake, but I'm gonna put a catch can right there so that it'll catch any of that oil that eventually shows up eventually. Now the reason why I'm running it back through my intake is not necessarily trying to cheat anything. I'll run this truck all day long. I did drive it, and it felt like a stock 24 valve. I mean, it got up and went and did its job. Nothing too extreme, but the reason why I was parked is because it was it passed, or didn't pass smog, because it was deemed a gross polluter. I don't know if it's actually filed that, but they said, oh, it's got too much blow by, so it's shot. We can't pass this. So I got parked. So what I'm going to do is, here is the discharge from my crankcase. And what is it hooked on? Everything. We're going to run it right into the air box right here. Got a little spot picked out. Now, we don't want to get too gung-ho. I think step bits are probably one of the nicest things ever. It's perfect. We don't want it to be leaking any, so we'll do it like just like that. What is this? Oh, I gotta back up. Kinking. Yep, it's gonna kink. We need to trim her down. guarantee the comment section's gonna don't mind that. How about that turbo though? I want to think that the discharge is leaking, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's bad. It feels, man, it feels one of the nicest feeling turbos I've felt in a long time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and crank her up. Need to rehook everything I knocked out trying to get that line over there. Oh, haze. She cold, boys. Well, when I rotated the tires, I decided to give it the old rotisserie paint job on them wheels. Now, these are the deep dish hubcaps, whatever the hell the difference is. I don't know. Early second gen, simple stuff. And then I got different ones up front. I do have the full simulators off of my dad's truck. He was gonna toss them, so I saved them. But I think we're ready to go. Things that I need for this truck as of yet, I might need to swap out the seat. So I did order a new cover, because for 50 bucks, it just makes the truck look a lot better. Because the, I swapped out the switch, but we're not getting everything we like. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this thing out right now, because, oh, I also need to do the front drive shaft right there. Clean out the bed, so that'll add to the other BS as we go. But let's get this out of here, because we need to cleanse the shop just a little bit. Cannot. Let's only run the broom wide at one time of how much crap comes off of a truck. Look at that. I bet you there's a gallon of dust that I'm going to sweep up right now just from that truck. Just a quick hit. Tow rig here. Does sound a little funny, but I don't know the fact that it's kind of cold right now. But it's doing good. We still got a slight tire steering fluid leak. And I thought I found it, but that was one of the last things I kind of addressed, was the return line. It just got a little hose clamp on it. And it was a little hose clamp, and I didn't trust it. So, oh, is that gonna clear? Come on, baby, talk to me. Yeah, boy. Oh, that is nice. You can actually see back there. Oh, yeah. Oh, we gotta go forward just a smidge. You're coming, sticker blocking my view. Alright. We gotta do a little towing with it, see how she does. Got an ABS light, that's new. Uh-oh. I have the fuse for that guy is the same fuse down here that triggers the pump. Very, very low. But they don't tell you what amperage. So I put a 10 and it just popped it. So that was sketch. I don't know why we got boost. Alright, lower this thing and try towing with it. Oh, where are you guys at? Simple way to check the lights. Turn them on. Just kidding. Or you put turn your hazard lights on. That hits your turn signals, hits your brake lights. It's all of it. Looks like we got a bum light on the trailer. It ain't even lit up at all. A couple of them actually. They're easy to get to, looks like. That one's good, that one's good. Truck's lit up. I had a talk with that one's management. Yep, we're good. I'm gonna guess 354s. If I get around to it, I'll add power mirrors, because this manual stuff. You could have got second gens with the flip mirrors, tow mirrors, but they wouldn't come power. So I got the stuff to make it happen. Also got one of these to add the heat. Hoping all the wiring's still there. Love the sound, man. Glad it's not dumping right underneath the truck again. I gotta get out and go move that mirror. Oh. Not hazing. A little bit because it's cold. But not as bad as it was the other day prior to that. How's she sound on here? Sound alright to you guys? Alright, make sure I got. Oh, wait a second. Ah! BMW's locked in. Sure. Oh man, she's got a good clutch. Grabs down low. I don't have a button for the gate in this rig. Crap. Well, we got a southpaw shift it. High beams are off. Don't need that. Woo! Good old icebreaker tow. Why did that sound dirty? Honestly, it's pretty remarkable. roll coal or nothing. Now, I went on the hunt for an exhaust brake. I want to point this out. Roll this up. So, we got a problem. This thing has a Banks kit on it. It has an intake and an exhaust. It's got a turbo on it from Banks that requires a different, not downpipe, but exhaust elbow, and then a different downpipe. So, it's been swapped. So I'd have to find a stock turbo to put on it to get a, maybe they got a Banks, maybe. I didn't find a Banks kit that was on Marketplace trying to keep on budget. It seemed like I saw a lot of factory elbow replacements. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't find what I wanted for that. If I find a Banks brake, that'd be sweet. Then I'd throw it on there, but I didn't find one. This thing is, it's actually kicking ass. I am not minding this at all. I didn't remember there being a cabin right there. What the hell's wrong with the steering wheel? I didn't remember that. Not bad. That tractor's around 6,000–7,000 pounds and the trailer's 3, so we got 10,000 back there. Walk in the park. All things considered, this truck has been parked up since 2016. That's 8 years it's been off the road now. I got it last year, so technically it was 7 when I got it and did a little rip around the block. But it is it's doing great. Shift smooth. Honestly, I figured if anything, for the price I paid for the truck, even if the engine was complete botched, numerous other issues, it still had an MV5600. So I'm happy that it's better than expected. Check out this place here. Let's stop and just admire the truck. See how she looks all cleaned up, spiffed up with a gooseneck behind her. All in. I kid you not, this is a budget build truck. For a truck that was bought basically for parts. A little bit of spit shine, some Bedliner, fast fuel system, make sure you got the gauge and stuff. Rotate the tires, check fluids, add a B&W. I'll try to find an exhaust brake now that I thought of the Banks kit actually has their goofy long stroke elbow for an exhaust brake. Maybe I could look into that. I did have another brake, but it wouldn't have worked, so I do have a little guy hanging down there. That's just a vent for the T-case. I'm gonna let her idle here for a second and see if I got anything dripping. Maybe I fix that leak. I do have new hoses, a new pump, and all that stuff to put on there, but this damn thing, it was working. So if I fix the leak, then we don't need to change nothing. Well, I'm thoroughly stoked on this, guys. This thing is arguably ready to work. Let's check out the haze now that it's been warmed up. And it's got 8-year-old fuel in it. You gotta think about that. It's not even hazing anymore. Freaking stoked. B&W didn't rip that, did it? Ian said it wasn't for this truck, but we made it happen. Hell yeah. See these hubs over here, the caps? Algae. Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of bringing this old truck back around. It's just kind of funny what could be considered dead, left behind. I spent about a week or so off and on working on this thing, not counting the revival video that you guys saw a while back. But she's really close. I need to get some U-joints for the front and a couple other things. I need to redo the seat. I might have to swap out that seat actually because it went backwards. It don't go forwards anymore. But let me know what you guys thought about this. If you have any concerns that I might have missed some items on the truck, let me know. But it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna head back down to the shop. I got about 6 other projects I'm working on right now, and man, it's nice to see them back up and running. This truck will be for sale soon, so I need to do obviously some more TLC to it, and things that I will do, well, I'll mention a higher mile truck. It is always a benefit to the rig for its longevity to add the high mile Lucas oil, put about ½ gallon or so in your oil change. You know, not on top of the oil, but mix it in. You know, you need 3 gallon system, 2.5 regular oil, ½ gallon of the high mile Lucas, and it helps it last longer, makes it sound a little bit better. It just basically dumping some tar in there, but that's proven. I like the Lucas products, and we'll see if that thing leaks anymore at the power steering. But other than that, I'm digging this truck. It's badass with the BMW in it too. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one. Later.